Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into this, hit that subscribe button because what happened across babymonster's CHOM World Tour is the kind of thing Monsties are going to be talking about for months, and you do not want to miss what comes next in the story. It started in Seoul. June 26, 2026, Jamsil Indoor Stadium. Opening night of babymonster's second world tour. The lights went down. The crowd was already loud, already buzzing, because everyone knew solo stages were coming, and everyone knew Chiquita's was going to be one of the moments of the night. What nobody was fully ready for was how she chose to open it. No big lighting cue.
No dramatic entrance.
Just a silhouette. A single outline against the backdrop, moving, controlled, deliberate, while 18,000 people in that arena tried to figure out exactly what they were looking at. For a few seconds, that was it. Just a shape, just movement. And the crowd's reaction told you everything, because you could hear the gasps ripple through the stadium before the lights even fully came up. That silhouette intro has since become one of the most replayed seconds of the entire Seoul leg, and it set the tone for what her solo stage was actually about, which is control. Precision. The ability to make a room hold its breath using nothing but shape and timing before a single note of music fully locks in. From there, she moved into her solo cover of Worth It, the 2015 Fifth Harmony track, and this is where the internet really started paying attention. Fan-recorded footage from that night spread fast, racking up millions of views within days across TikTok, Threads, and YouTube. And what people kept coming back to over and over in comment sections and reaction videos was the same observation. This wasn't just a member doing a solo number to fill time between group songs. This was choreography built to showcase exactly what she can do as a dancer: floor work, sharp transitions, full command of a stage on her own with a live band behind her instead of a backing track. One entertainment outlet covering the tour's opening night specifically pointed to her solo as one of the standout individual moments of the three-day Jamsil run, alongside Farida's Nicki Minaj cover and Ruka's rap-driven solo. That's the kind of comparison that matters in this industry, because when critics are naming your solo stage alongside members known specifically for their rap and vocal power, that's not a small thing. Now, it's worth being upfront about something, because Monsties deserve the full picture. The concept of that solo stage did spark some conversation online about age appropriateness, since Chiquita is 17. That discussion happened. It's part of the public record around this tour, and babymonster as a group has faced similar conversations before around some of their choreography choices. We're not going to dwell on that angle in this video, because that's not really what the story is about. What kept pulling people back to the clips, what kept the comment sections growing, was a controversy. It was the dancing itself. Fans in the comments repeatedly praised her professionalism and her stage command, with one comment noting that her artistry seemed to have grown by leaps in just the time between babymonster's debut and this tour. That's the through line we're following here: a 17-year-old who is already being talked about for her technical control on a stage this size. Because here's the thing about Chiquita that longtime Monsties already know, and that the wider internet is only just catching up to. She wasn't handed a spotlight moment. She built a reputation for it, video by video, stage by stage, going all the way back to her pre-debut days as a trainee, when short clips of her dancing started circulating and immediately drew comparisons to some of YG's biggest names. That kind of comparison follows a trainee around for years, for better or worse, and the pressure that comes with it could have gone either way. Instead, what we're watching now, tour stop by tour stop, is a performer who seems to be using that pressure as fuel rather than folding under it. And it's not just the Worth It solo carrying this narrative. Across the Seoul dates, and now into the Japan leg, clips of Chiquita during group numbers keep getting pulled out and reshared specifically for her facial work and her sharpness in formation. Fans have taken to calling her the group's facial expression queen in comment sections and edits, a nickname that stuck because of how consistently she's able to sell a lyric or a beat drop with nothing but her face and timing, even when she's not the one holding center stage. Watch enough fancams from Choom or Psycho during this tour and you'll notice it too. The way her expressions shift a half second ahead of the choreography hits, like she's not just executing the moves, she's narrating them. So then the tour moved to Japan. July 8th and 9th, 2026, GLI-1 Arena in Kobe, 2 more sold-out nights, and the Worth It solo stage came right back with it. Fresh fan cams started flooding in almost in real time, tagged with the Kobe dates, and if anything, the reaction online was even faster this time because now there was a reference point. People already knew what to expect from the silhouette, from the floor work, from the transitions, and they were watching specifically to see if she'd bring the same intensity to a different crowd, a different country, a different night.
She did.
If you scroll through the clips from Kobe Day 1 and Day 2, what stands out isn't repetition, it's refinement. Small adjustments to timing. Slightly sharper hits in the same sequences. The kind of detail that only a dancer, who's actually thinking about the performance and not just running muscle memory, would bother to change between shows. Here's what makes this genuinely interesting from a bigger picture standpoint, and it's the part a lot of casual viewers miss. Babymonster's entire CHOM era was built around exactly this kind of individual spotlight. The tour's name literally translates to dance. The lead single is about dance. Every member got a solo stage built to show off a specific strength. Farida's vocal power, Ruka's rap and stage control, Rora's own moment with Havana, a high-end carrying problem with her vocal runs. In a rollout that deliberately handed every member their own individual showcase, it's Chiquita's solo, specifically the dance-forward one, that's traveled furthest outside the fandom bubble and into general K-pop discourse. That's not an accident of algorithm. Dance content travels differently than vocal content does online. It's more immediately shareable, more remixable into edits and challenge trends, and Chiquita's stage was built exactly for that kind of virality, whether that was the original intention or not. And that brings us to the part of the story that's still unfolding right now. Because a viral dance challenge tied to Chiquita has already started spreading on TikTok, separate from the official tour content, built off short clips of her choreography and stitched together by users who may not even follow Babymonster closely. That's the real marker of crossover. Not just fans in the comments calling a performance impressive, but people with zero prior context picking up a piece of her choreography and recreating it for their own audience. When that starts happening organically, that's usually the signal that a performer has stopped being a member people are talking about within K-pop and started being someone the wider internet has taken notice of on their own terms. So when you put it all together, the silhouette that open soul, the floor work and control in Worth It, the nickname that stuck because of how expressive she is even in group numbers, the refinement she brought to the same solo 2 weeks later in Kobe, and now a dance trend spilling outside the fandom entirely, it stops looking like a coincidence and starts looking like a pattern. A 17-year-old who trained under comparisons she never asked for, and is now the one other people are being compared to. With the CHOM World Tour still only in its early Asia leg, with Europe, North America, and South America still ahead through 2027, this is very likely not the last time we're going to be sitting here talking about a Chiquita solo stage going viral for the exact same reason. If this is the version of her we're seeing this early into the tour, Monsties, it's worth asking what the rest of this rollout still has in store. That's the story for today. If you want to catch every solo stage, every viral moment, and every update as CHOM World Tour keeps rolling through 2026 and into 2027, make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are on, because Babymonster is not slowing down, and neither are we.
Annyeong.